Now we're really vibing.
you know.
That's one of the things that like
Mm,
I really see I see so many parallels between like language and dancing or and the way that like especially breaking is that with circles and stuff, and a
mhm,
circle is totally like a conversation,
mhm,
and you got to know when to go in, like we're talking right now, and
mhm,
sometimes you're saying something and then I want to say something, and so I think you're done and I try to start talking but then you're not
mhm,
finished, so
mhm,
I stop, right?
mhm,
And to me that's a natural thing, like if you're in a circle and you see that someone doing a
mhm,
round and then you want to go in
mhm,
next and
mhm,
they get up but they're not finished and then you go in and they're still going, you just let them continue because
yeah.
it's their turn to talk.
Mhm,
But like, when you see two people and they're like keep dancing or
mm,
whatever, that's the
yeah.
same to me as like just two
Mhm,
people
mhm.
shouting over each other, right? But
Mhm,
what you mentioned about like making mistakes and
yeah,
feeling so kind of like people are making fun of you or whatever,
yeah, yeah.
and like that's a totally natural thing that everyone has, like at the beginning of anything. You don't want to be embarrassed and you don't want to make mistakes,
Mhm,
but that's
mhm,
part of just learning anything,
mhm,
is you're gonna
yeah.
mess up. The hard
Mhm,
part is that language is like you're talking directly with someone,
mhm,
and so it's almost like a performance, and dance is a performance too. So
mhm,
especially when you're learning and you make a mistake, it's like everyone's
mhm,
watching, or if you're having a
mhm,
conversation and you make a
mhm,
mistake, the
mhm,
other person hears you, or you get the uncomfortable situation of like, well, what did you say, what are you trying to say, I don't
mhm,
understand you,
mhm,
and then you
mhm,
feel kind of whatever. But
mhm.
it's the kind of thing that can that can motivate you to get better, because you're like, oh,
Yeah,
I feel so. That's
yeah.
like what happened with me when I was in when I
Mhm,
first moved here.
mhm,
I Very early on I had all these experiences of like, I can't say what I want to say,
mhm,
or I don't understand what people are saying. So,
mhm.
you can choose to go one way and just like stop, don't talk to anybody, and
Yeah,
become super sheltered or whatever, or only
yeah.
talk with like other English speakers and it's very safe.
Mhm,
Or you can face the thing that you're kind of afraid of or that you don't want to experience and it's uncomfortable, and you can go
yeah.
out there
Mhm,
and do it. And like Mark always, I think it was Mark, I don't know where I heard this, but I always
mhm,
attribute it to Mark, that
mhm.
like you get comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And then you
I like
stop.
that quote too.
Yeah, and then you
Mhm,
stop caring that you made a mistake, and like
mhm,
you care to an extent, you want to get better, but like
mhm,
you eventually just realize like, oh yeah, like yeah, I made a mistake, but is it something that's like the kind of mistake that's just a small thing, and okay, I
mhm.
realized it, oh, I shouldn't say that, oh, this is what I should say, okay, or whatever, I should do a
Yeah.
freeze this way, oh, I did it and it kind of
Mhm.
hurt, so I shouldn't do it that way, maybe I should figure out a better way to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like,
But you never know until you try.
yeah,
So
exactly, right?
yeah.
And like I think
Yeah.
that's something that I really noticed it, like what you said about the way that like Japanese, like English programs, and maybe it's just Japanese
I
education
think that
system in general.
yeah, education system has a lot
Yeah,
of problem.
yeah.
But
Which is like, it
like
has good parts to it, right? And
mm,
that can be good to like strive for doing it as best you can. But,
yeah.
like we said, it's got a balance, right?
Yeah.
If people
I
are so
I learned
afraid
a
to
lot
talk. Yeah.
from Japanese education. So I think it was good, but if there's more balance to like make like having conversation class or whatever,
Hmm.
we can have like exchange students, session, whatever. that would be better.
Yeah.
Like even like 3 weeks or 2 weeks, it would
Yeah.
be better for the people.
Well, you know, I think it's again, these are like parallels with dancing that I always make, because dancing these days is so heavily driven by, you know, competition, or the jobs are be really good and then people will hire you to judge, or they'll hire you to teach a workshop, or
Mm-hmm.
they'll hire you to be in a movie or something like that, or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And there's so little emphasis put on just doing it because it's fun, because it's something that's fun or that's healthy and it's good for you, that kind of thing. Like, you know, yeah, people, you know, people got to make their money however they make their money, and I'm never going to knock people for doing that. But
Mm-hmm.
like, if what was I saying? I just lost it.
Yeah, but like I understand what you're saying too. Like, but part of the reason I started the blog was
Yeah,
I learned so many from hip hop. Like through hip hop
yeah,
and dancing, I wanted to do something for hip hop or for the next generation. So do something like for fun to you, also maybe to other people, not just for money, maybe. Yeah.
yeah. Ah, that's what it was. Paralleling it with language. Yeah, so like, you know, at the end of the day, dance is just, it's fun, and that's why a lot of people keep doing it, even though they never
Mhm.
become famous and they never
Mhm.
go anywhere or get anything out of
Yeah.
it. But it's just fun, and that, like, it can be the same thing with language. And one of the things that I would always tell my students is like,
Mhm.
don't, like, yeah, you can learn English for the sake of a job, and it'll allow you to
Mhm.
work in other places or work for this
Mhm.
company. It'll give you more opportunities, and that's great.
Mhm.
That's definitely true. But also, it's just fun to talk to people and connect with
Yeah.
people. You know,
Mhm.
like, I learned Japanese so that I can, like, obviously live in Japan, but it also
Mhm.
allows me to just, like, connect with people and just meet new
Mhm.
people and learn new
Mhm.
things that I didn't know, like that kind of thing. So,
For
you
sure.
know, you can learn it for very practical reasons, but then you can also learn it just
Mm.
because it's fun to connect with people. And it's the same thing
Yeah.
with dance. Like, that's why I
Mhm.
like Vancouver so much. That, you know, we said at the beginning of this,
Yeah.
like, Vancouver Street Dance
Mhm.
Festival is one of those things where you just go and they have a competition, and some people are very focused on that, and that's fine. But for a
Mhm.
lot of people and for a lot of the general public, and you see it after
Mhm.
the event finishes, that people don't
Mhm.
just clear out. A lot of
Mhm.
people who are not part of the dance scene or the dance
Mhm.
community or the street dance, whatever, they're not b-boys or b-girls or lockers or poppers. They're just
Mhm.
regular people, and there's music playing, and it was so much fun, and they want to move.
Yeah.
And, like, yeah, I think that's something that people got to remember, that, like,
Mhm. Yeah.
it's just fun, and stop trying to, like, impress everyone, and stop trying to look so
Mhm.
cool and do all this
Mhm.
stuff, and, like, just enjoy the music and enjoy being with other people and that
Mhm.
kind of thing. That's my rant
I feel
finished.
I feel